eventually you get a molecule that reproduces itself.
Yeah, now we'll come to randomness. That's also a scapegoat for us because we use that in quantum mechanics and elsewhere as the uncertainty. We hide behind that veil to justify that somehow the uncertainty brings in the free will
Right.
or the consciousness. Although that's more of an...
Or randomness brings on reality. It's
Exactly. We relate a lot of reality to randomness, complexity, emergence, and those kind of things. And we try to dance around the word consciousness. These are way to dance around it. You know, if you read the book called Dancing Woolly Masters? In fact, that was one of the first book I read when I got into this. It is about, the woolly is called physics. It's I think Japanese or Chinese word for physics. So we dance around, ironically, around this phenomena of consciousness because it's kind of a tabooed word. We don't want to use that in a professional science, but we will evoke concepts like uncertainty, randomness, emergence. In biology, they use emergence. Big Bang.
consciousness and sentience different? Awareness of oneself and consciousness?
Yes. I'll come to that. The biological consciousness, for example, is the one that what we feel, our thoughts, emotions, because of the neurons firing in our brain, cause those thoughts. It's biologically, we explain, like you can measure the biological consciousness by putting in meters on your, the brain waves that can be read on instruments, and they can show you if, for example, you are anxious, you are lying, for example, the lie detector, you can show certain physical, electrical, and magnetic effect of thinking and or emotions, which you can measure, and those are all brain waves type of phenomena. Consciousness is something which is nobody has measured. They don't even know how to even define it, not to talk about measure. Even the definition of consciousness is so far limited to biological consciousness, means what we can biologically measure. I mean, for example, a doctor can measure our heartbeat, or they can measure our pulse, or they can monitor on the brain waves, or monitoring our brain, they can say whether the neurons are firing or not. So those are biologically measurable and verifiable aspects to say consciousness. That's biological consciousness. But now let's go to the...
That only tells you if your brain is working.
Correct.
Yeah.
But if you go to electron moving in an atom, for example, it's hard to measure because electron is moving almost speed of light. You can't see it, you can't measure it. You can infer the impact of it. You can infer from your models and fitting in the data that it should be moving and should be in this physical state. But you can't directly measure it. You can infer the motion.
And if it's always in motion, then what put it in motion to begin with?
Exactly. Why is it moving? What is the purpose of it moving all the time? Did it start from zero, or was it always like that? I mean, those are again questions about the universe. Was the universe created? Did the Big Bang happen by itself? Did it keep on expanding at its own? What's causing it? So all these questions are related to motion, which is essentially space and time. Motion is in space and time. Anything has to move in a space at a certain time, and that's the motion.
So then is God beyond space and time?
Now, that's a loaded question. First of all, we need to look at what your definition of God is. If you, in a conventional knowledge, it's a different definition to different people.
Some people believe in anthropomorphic gods, others believe in infinite intelligence or creative intelligence.
Correct. Some would say it's an energy, it's eternity and omnipresence. Some would say it's just a state of mind. Some would say it's pure consciousness. So the definition itself would many times define the question and the answer. Now, scientifically speaking, the conventional definition of God, like a person or a big daddy over there sitting watching us, who created us and has decided and written our fate and all that, the conventional religious definition, science does not support that.
Mm-hmm.
Ask any scientist and they'll say there's no such a God exists, at least in their
No man
domain.
on the throne.
Yeah. But the same very scientist like Einstein was known to be very not religious, but he believed in a nature, a natural process which is godlike, like natural laws. He used to say that about science and religion, he would say that religion without science is blind and science without religion is lame. And what I add a third line to it, that without consciousness, they both are dead.